In this video, we are going to go through summary statistics and a little bit of calculations. So our data set for this lesson is heights of students. So we have the heights of um, probably 11 students, I believe, and it is given in feet and inches. And we want to ultimately know our count, how many we have, our sum, our mean, median, mode, max, min, range, and standard deviation. But at first, we should realize that we don't have our data in a way that we are able to calculate those yet because it's in feet and inches. We have 2 units, it's apples and oranges, we got to convert it to one. What I mean by that is, like, say I try and get the mean, so we'll just do mean in a random cell, and we do equals average. Well, I can do the average of just the inches, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I can do the average of just the feet, but none of that is useful. So first, we have to figure out things like total inches, and maybe I even want to get decimal feet. So total inches is going to be a calculation. We're going to go equals, and to get our total inches, we should recognize that 1 foot is 12 inches. So if someone was 5 feet, they would be 5 times 12, which is 60. Total inches, if someone was 5 feet 6 inches, it would be, well, 5 feet times 12 is 60 plus 6, 66. So to put that into logic, we're not going to want to do 5 times 12 plus 6. Although that gives me the right answer, the logic isn't there to handle changes in input. For example, if we said that this guy was actually 5'10", this does not update automatically. So what we would instead want to do is we're going to say equals total feet times 12, so cell B3 times 12 plus C3. And we get 66 inches that way. Same with decimal feet. So when we have, if someone was exactly 5 feet, they would be 5 feet, 0.0, right, for decimal feet. If someone was 5 feet 6 inches, they would be 5.5 feet. So the way to get decimal feet is you can either do B3 plus C3 divided by 12, that's one way, or we already have total inches, so we can just convert inches to feet. So equals D3 divided by 12. And now that I have that, we don't need to do it for all the other 10 times by typing it in. We can instead copy the logic down. So you can highlight the 2 cells and then copy and drag the logic down. Maybe you want to clean it up a little bit, so I'm going to make this accurate to 2 decimal places, and this looks good as is. And now we have our total inches and decimal feet. So over here, we're going to start listing our summary statistics. We're going to do count, sum, mean, median, mode, max, min, range, and standard deviation. I don't like the way that this kind of carries over, so I'm going to highlight all these cells and I'm going to merge them. I'm not going to just do a regular merge because that would only keep what's in the top. No, I'm going to do the drop down and then do merge horizontally. And now each of these cells are B and C merged together. So for count, I'm going to do equals count, the total number of numeric values in a data set of this data set right here. And we have 12 students. I think I said 11 before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And Google Sheets is right. I'm wrong. Equals sum. So they do give you a preview sometimes, although a lot of times they're wrong. Like, for example, this assumes you want to go from D3 to D15, but D15 includes the count. So no, I really want D3 to D14 for all of this. So mean is going to be equals average. Again, it gives you a preview, but the preview is wrong. You want to change that to D14 or just do it manually. Median, you can probably like copy this part of the text, right? So equals mode, and it saves a second, equals max, equals min, Range was the weird one because we can't just do equals range. We have to do our max minus our min. So we could type in equals max and then do it that way, but we already have our max and min. So we might as well let D22 be equal to our max value minus our min value. Oh, I think I typed it in wrong. Our max value minus our min value. And then finally, standard deviation. You got to be careful because there's like so many to pick. Like this one's actually not the right one. We want to do one that says population. So either of these work. And what's great about this now is if we were to change any of our inputs, let's just say this guy was 7 feet 6 inches. He's a monster. Watch the way all these data values will change. Everything updates automatically. We want to do the same thing for decimal feet, our count, all this stuff, but I don't want to have to type everything in again, so I'm going to highlight these and then copy the logic over. So go to where it's a black cross and then copy it to the one to the right. And now all our information's there. What's left is just to organize the data a bit better. So I don't want this many decimal places. For mean, we want one more decimal place. So we're going to have this go to 1 decimal place, and for decimal feet to 3. Our standard deviation for total inches should be 1 decimal place. For standard deviation for decimal feet should be 3. Let's start organizing data. I actually have like a finished one before, so this is kind of what a good finished product will look like. So we're going to kind of work our way to that. So let's kind of center our values. Maybe it looks good to give this a nice bold color. Borders are huge, so you definitely want to give like all borders and then typically do an outer border that's a little bit thicker. Let's separate out our different sections. So our solution section should be separated out with thicker borders. Over here, our actual answers, you might want to give it even a color. Let's make this our title of each column. Give that a thicker border as well. We'll separate our intermediate values. Intermediate values being a value that has a calculation, but it's not your final answer. Let's give this a title. So I like to keep a blank row and column. So I'm going to create another one. Nope, wrong direction. So right click, insert one above, and let's give this. We'll merge it and we'll call this heights of students. Maybe make it a little bit bigger so it kind of stands out. We'll give it a nice thick border. Maybe the bottom border will make double. And that's pretty much, I think that's a pretty organized chart now. You can like pinch these in a little bit just for keeping it clean, but I think overall I like that. So let's make this a full screen just to get you a nice finished product all on one sheet, and we are good to go.